Hi everybody, welcome back. Glad you could tune in again. One of the most significant features of the scriptures is the absolute honesty with which they address the human condition. The word of the Lord does not hide from us the realities of life. And in particular, it does not hide from us the horror of the depths to which, in God's mysterious providence, He sometimes allows His people to sink. And Psalm 6 is one of the places where those depths become most alarmingly clear. In Psalm 6, we find ourselves in the company of a man who is really at the end of his tether. It looks from some of the imagery which is employed there that he is physically sick. He speaks of his bones being greatly troubled, along with his soul also being troubled. His soul might, of course, be a reference to his spiritual life, the heart of his relationship with God, but it may also be a more biological reference. The word can mean neck or throat just as much as the English soul. He speaks also about moaning every night, flooding his bed with tears, lying on his couch during the day, just wasting away. His eye wastes away because of grief. Is that because of his crying, his tears, or is it because his eyes are painful and struck with whatever illness he has? Moreover, his situation is compounded in verse 8 by people who appear to be mocking him, either close up or from a distance. "Away from me, all you workers of evil," he says. It seems that that's further compounding the horrific and painful situation he finds himself in. And it raises the question, do we fully appreciate the depths to which the Lord, in his wisdom, his mysterious, strange wisdom, sometimes allows his people to sink? It's not an easy thing to say, but it is certainly better for us to wrestle with this in the cold light of day than to try and dig ourselves out of the perplexity and confusion we will find ourselves in if or when we do sink to these depths and we're not prepared for it. And so I urge you, take a look at Psalm 6 and place yourself as much as you can in the mind and the heart of the man who cries out to God there. And as you do so, you will find yourself led towards the final couple of verses of the psalm, where you find the hope for the people of God writ large, where the psalmist cries out with confidence in verse 9 and then in verse 10, "The Lord has heard my plea. The Lord accepts my prayer. All my enemies shall be ashamed and greatly troubled. They shall be turned back and put to shame in a moment." It looks like he has, even in the anguish of the illness, if that's what it is that has afflicted him, he has confidence in the Lord's goodness and the Lord's purposes for him. This is the kind of thing for which we ought to be prepared. We ought not to drift through life expecting it always to be pain-free. And perhaps in these painful and difficult circumstances that many of us are now facing, that reality has hit home to us in a fresh way. And psalms like this give us a perspective from which to view the troubles of various kinds that we find ourselves in, and more importantly, from which to view the hope that we are called to place in the living God, and the way that we are to address him as the source of our life, the source of our redemption, the source of all good things for which we cry to him in prayer. I encourage you, grab Psalm 6, have a look at it, wrestle with it in your study and in your prayers, and may the Lord bless you as you do so. Look forward to seeing you, I hope, very soon. God bless. Bye for now.